My name is Josh. Play drums from the Trenches. Our vocalist Cody isn't here right now, but he should be here soon.
I'm Mike Alexander. I play rhythm guitar.
I'm BK. I play bass.
And I'm Jagger. I play guitar.
Now, how long have you guys been together?
It'll be about a year and a half. It'll be 2 years in October.
Yeah.
In October, 2 years.
And how did the five of you guys meet each other? How did you come to be in the Trenches?
Three of us used to be in this old local band called Before the Hills. Way back about a couple years ago. They were in a band in Newton called And Attack, and we just kind of.
The two bands played a lot of shows together, and
oh, you're good.
By way of somehow or another, Josh ended up playing drums at the very end of And Attack. We lost our other drummer, and when And Attack broke up, we decided to. I talked to Josh, and we started kind of talking about getting something else going, and this popped up. So.
Now, do you remember the first time that the five of you guys actually got together and jammed for the first time? What that was like?
It was all right. A little bit tension, but it was okay.
Yeah, it was just an awkward moment.
Our guitar players didn't like each other. Let's be honest with you. But and no, it's all good. We jammed. We wanted to make something like a little heavier, a little more hardcore, a little metal. Just kind of put it together. The band now we playing in the Trenches is definitely a lot heavier than both bands that we each were in. So, yeah.
And how did that spin on being heavier come about? Was it just all of your guys'
I think all of us just wanted to be heavier. I mean, Mike's a huge metalhead.
Yeah.
And like,
I like our influences.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, it's all of our influences.
Originally, when I talked to Josh, the idea was for me, Josh, and our vocalist Cody to find a couple other guys and put together a pop punk band, because I knew Josh was into pop punk. I love pop punk, and I wanted to do that. And then we ended up putting together In the Trenches, and it just came out heavy. Yeah. We had no shot at playing pop punk, really.
Yeah. Nice. Now, In the Trenches is an unusual name. How did you guys decide on calling the band that?
Honestly, our vocalist Cody came up with it. Like, we just all like told each other to pick some names, and he just like, what about In the Trenches? And we liked the way it sounded, and we all did. So.
Now, you guys don't play here in Hutch very often, but where would you guys call your biggest fan base?
Our biggest fan base would probably be Wichita right now. We played Eagles Lodge a lot. We used to play up in Salina, or we still do every once in a while, but we used to play in Salina a lot at the Indian Rock Lodge, and we had a pretty good fan base there too. But we have a lot of fans like from Hutch, like all of our friends and everything. We just have never found any shows to play. So we played one like a year ago at the Rock and Roll Bar out on West 2nd Street. That was it, really.
Now, is that something you guys would like to do, is play more Hutch shows?
Yeah, yeah.
If kids would show up.
Yeah.
There's never anybody there.
That's where promoting it comes in, letting people know, and definitely. We were talking a little bit earlier about influences. If you guys had to pick one or two, who would you say are your major influences in the band right now? What's the music direction you're going right now?
Probably this up-and-coming band called The Ghost Inside would be one of my main influences, like as far as drumming. Where you guys?
My biggest influence right now, like the thing that I'm listening to the most right now, is Stick to Your Guns, but the music that influences me most is definitely stuff like Madball and Terror, and just like the older hardcore scene.
Wow, yeah, I haven't heard Madball brought up in a while.
Yeah.
I found a new passion. It took me a while to get into them, but I fell in love with that band. So.
What about you?
Stick to Your Guns, stuff like that. I listen to everything, so I'm influenced by it.
What would you say your guys' like maybe oddest influence, most obscure type of influence is? Someone that might surprise us.
Johnny Cash for myself.
Wow.
Blink-182.
Yeah, Blink-182. They're always
I think
upbeat.
we all
like,
yeah.
Yeah, there's just something in their music. It's just really punchy and just like catchy, and that's what we just want to be like. We just want something different from each one of our songs. We want it to stick out. So we try not to be too just like bland, I guess.
Let's talk a little bit about your guys' music. You guys have a CD coming out. You guys working on something?
Yeah, we have a 3-song demo right now. We were gonna go record this month, but we actually just played a show in Wichita called this chick named Sarah Saturday and Kevin Lyman. I don't know. He created Vans Warped Tour. They put together this thing called Earn It Yourself, and they went all over the United States and went to cities and asked like one of the big promoters to put a thing up on Facebook and said, "Tell us who your favorite local band is." And the top 4 local bands got to play a show for a spot on Warped Tour. We're actually going to play Kansas City Warped Tour on July 6th.
Wow.
On the Kevin Says stage.
Wow,
So
that's pretty
that's
impressive.
that's what we're working on right now. We had plans to go finish recording our CD, but then this came along. So
So what did you guys think when you got the news on that?
it's the best news of my life. It's a dream come true.
I was a little disappointed because I thought our friend's band didn't do it.
Yeah, we like battled against our best
Yeah.
friends. Like,
But be too disappointed in that, though.
Yeah.
Because we won.
Yeah.
yeah.
The cool thing I thought about it was that she came out and said that it really, I mean, this scene right here, right now, is so collectively full of hardcore and metal that it came down, I mean, the way I read it, it came down to, going off like the band's attitudes and, how much they get out and talk about the scene and try to get new people into the scene. And it was more about that level than choosing from the music. So, I mean, I don't feel like us winning was by any means anybody saying that we're better than our best friends or anything like that. It was just a matter of we got lucky that we're an honest, hardworking band. Not to say that the others aren't, but for sure I felt like that was a lot of it.
No, like original stuff. Does everybody contribute to the writing of the original material? And if you guys were to go into a record store and look for your guys' disc, what area of the store would you find in the trenches?
Probably in the metal section. Like they really don't have a hardcore section. A lot of people say it's called like metalcore. It's like metal and hardcore just like mixed together. And we have a lot of like 2-step beats and breakdowns.
Nice.
And all of our vocals are screams. So.
Let's talk a little bit about your experiences with the local scene. What's your guys' thoughts and opinions on the local music scene here?
In Hutch?
Yeah, here in Hutch.
There isn't one. I mean, well, all right. Honestly, we're from Hutch, and we like with our earlier bands played a lot of like shows around here, and just do like booking agency that we go through is HGC, and that kind of the scene kind of I don't know, in the south I guess. Is how
Well,
to
what
say it.
is here?
And so
as hard as we
Yeah.
are. It's
yeah,
more
well,
lighter.
I mean, because in all honesty, a bunch of people that are gonna be here tonight haven't heard the stuff that we play. Like, I mean, I don't know, so they're gonna be like, well, what's this? But like we kind of consider Wichita kind of like a second home, I guess. Like we love playing here, but Wichita is like we play there so much that it's like those are the kids that come watch us all
it's
the time.
getting bigger too.
Yeah, it's getting
actually
bigger, and
picking
so
up.
Yeah.
like we were so pumped to play here. I mean, just to come back and a bunch of our friends like can't make the trip or whatever, they want to see us, and we just love coming out and supporting anything. I mean, even if it's not music that we play or listen to, like, I mean, we'd always come out and support it. That's just how you keep it going.
So would you say the Wichita kind of maybe hardcore scene is kind of just taken over right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's big. I mean, it's like for that Earn It Yourself show, like she even said it's one of the best scenes she's seen, and she goes all over the United States.
Wow.
So she was impressed by it. So
I bet there was like 150 kids, 200 kids there that night.
Wow.
And it was just
And
4 local bands playing.
Yeah,
That's a
the
nice
local show
turnout.
the week before was exactly the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's finally hit a point like there was definitely a die-off for a while, because I remember shows that were that way 5-6 years ago, and then it seemed like it was just constantly like 50 or 60 kids, and it's finally back to a point where we're seeing like 100, 200 kids showing up, and it's a really good feeling to see it. Not so much even for ourselves, but just to see the scene thriving, because it needs to happen. I mean,
How has stuff like Facebook and Twitter and MySpace, how has that affected your guys' band?
It gets you out there.
Yeah.
People hear about you better.
We actually don't have a Twitter.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
I take it back. I made
We're
an
not that
account.
hip. Yeah.
I made an account, but I
haven't
forgot the
used it yet.
password.
No.
So,
we in all honesty though, our band is made up of just pretty much like a group of like, as weird and cliche as it sounds, like best friends. Like So whenever we play a show, like everybody knows about it. They're gonna know about it. I mean, we'll text, we'll send anything we can. So I mean, it's like we don't necessarily use it as much as we should, as some bands do. But I mean, say if we were to go on tour or something, of course we're gonna use it. I mean, that's one of our dreams. But
You would say locally, you guys are more word to mouth.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Face-to-face
I mean,
promotion.
because we've had kids come to our house and like we say something about just the band. We don't like to talk about ourselves at all, but we'll say something about, you know, in the trenches, and they'll be like, yeah, we heard about those guys. We'll be like, yeah, this is our house, and they'll be like, oh, really? Well, and it's really weird because I mean, people wouldn't recognize you or whatever. I mean, they've all heard about it, but it's just, I don't know, putting faces to the band, I guess. And I mean, that's kind of why we're excited to play tonight. I mean, we have a softball team, a bunch of those guys are here tonight, and they've never heard us before, so we're just kind of excited to let people know like what we put our heart and soul into. Besides, like, I mean, our careers and all that stuff. So.
Now, when do you guys? I know we talked a little bit earlier about you guys going in and recording something, and have you guys talked about when you want to try and have something out? Maybe first of the year.
We really haven't. I mean, we've thrown ideas around, but I mean, we're all kind of like, we haven't really actually sat down. In all honesty, it'd be awesome if we could just take a solid 2 weeks and just go sit down and then record and get everything we want to turn out the way we want. But it seems like, I mean, even with the one that we got, or 3 songs we got recorded, it was kind of like a one-day thing, go and get it done without, like, you know, kind of critiquing anything. But I mean, hopefully soon. We'd love to. I mean, we're starting to get, I mean, quite a few songs, so we'd like to get that stuff down for people.
So do you have enough original stuff to go in and?
That's all we have.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
and
don't
honestly,
have
we have no covers.
Nice.
So.
Nice. I'd like to hear that.
But that's like, I mean, we'd love to do them. We've always thrown around the idea, but it's more like when we talk about doing covers, it's kind of like, I mean, why do it when we could just write something of our own, I guess, you know?
It seems like every time we talk about it, we show up at practice and we're like, you know, let's start trying to jam this, and then we come up with a new song and forget all about it for another 2 months.
Like, we want to. I mean, don't get us wrong. We want to do a cover song. It's always fun to get the crowd involved in a song they know, and, you know, get them kind of to interact that way. But I mean, as far as right now, we're kind of just writing original stuff. I mean, we've got a couple of new songs that we're working on right now that we're not even gonna play. But I mean, we're just trying to get a solid 13 songs or so just for a CD, just so we can have something for people. So.
Cool. So if people wanted to find out more information about the band, where could they go online to find out about you guys?
In the Trenches, we have an In the Trenches band page, and we have on Facebook, and then we have an In the Trenches rep page on Facebook also that you can like add as a friend. And we have both those, and then we have our MySpace page, and myspace.com/inthetrenchesks.com.
What about Reverb Nation? Are you guys on there?
We are on Reverb Nation and Pure Volume, right?
Yeah, we've got a Pure Volume that I honestly haven't touched in a good 8 months, but
way to go!
I mean, the music's up there, and it's as up to date as everything else, but we don't have the consistent news feed like we do on Facebook.
All right. Well, hey, that covered everything, man. Thanks for taking time to chat with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.